3 up, 2 across, tap that play button 3 times, and walk through the archway into Dialogue Alley. Hello and welcome to Dialogue Alley, a podcast all about Harry Potter books, book translations, and all other things magical. I am Eric.
I'm Carly.
And it's us, Carly.
Yay!
It's just like episode 1, but it's not.
Going
it's
way
episode
back.
25.
Of season 3.
I think it's 25.
Yeah.
Season 3, episode 25.
Of season 3, going way back.
It is. It's going way back. Melanie is not here today. She is dealing with some sick children issues, which I've been there, and I know it's not fun. So we are sending her some positive vibes, and we'll hope to talk to her next week. Although, I will not be here next week.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Because that's right. I'll be not in the country. So you and Melanie will have to make it happen.
And then in May, I won't be here. The week of May 17th, I won't be here.
Right, because you're getting your books.
I'm getting my books, so I can actually smell them. Do you realize I can actually be a part of translation of the show?
I know, it's going to be so great.
Without having to work from memory.
Exactly. So if you've just joined us for the first time and you're wondering what the bananas are these two talking about,
What the bananas?
Carly and I are both Harry Potter book collectors. So is Melanie. And we all collect Harry Potter book translations specifically. So we love Harry Potter books. We collect them all. We have books from Croatia. We have books from Serbia. We have books from, where else, Carly?
Ukraine. Greenland.
We have
Iceland.
books from
Japan.
Greenland.
So many places. Sri Lanka. Nepal.
Yeah. Ooh, Nepal. Yeah, so a lot of places. And we'll talk a little bit more about that in the news, because there's an interesting press release that we found that mentions something about translations, which always piques our interest. So we'll mention that. So, and after the news, because it's just the two of us, I thought we would do something fun. I mean, we always do something fun. This is never not fun.
We're always fun.
It's always fun. I thought we would do another one of those Harry Potter quiz little trivia things that we did. You and I did one before. It was pretty fun.
It was like season 1,
they're timed.
Wasn't it?
I don't know. I thought it was season 2.
It may have been season 2.
So not only is it a Harry Potter trivia quiz, but they're timed. So that adds a little bit of pressure to it. So that's going to be our main segment tonight. And we have a super fun book to talk about for our translation of the show. And that's kind of our plan. So if you are ready to rock like we are, we can jump right into the news.
And my neighbor's also ready to rock. He's being loud.
That's true. Your neighbor's rocking out to some tunes.
He is. He's got them tunes going. And they are not Celestina and the Warlocks or whatever it is. Who is that? Celestina and the whom? I'm making up.
Celestina Warbeck and her cauldron full of hot, strong love.
Yeah.
That's the song.
I'm making up magical wizard bands, but yeah, it's not.
Well, and you can see her perform.
Yeah,
at
Wizarding World, and she's really good. They have quite a good show. If you haven't seen it, just a little aside, you should really catch it. She's down in not Dialogue Alley. That's us. She's down in Diagon Alley at Wizarding World.
She's in Diagon Alley.
Yeah.
All right, let's jump into the news.
Okie doke. So in today's news, we actually have some I'm actually very excited. Well, I'm always very excited about the news that involves Harry Potter stuff. But today we got an announcement from, who's the Czech publisher? Gortam? No, it's a different publisher.
It's not Czech. It's Croatian, and it's Mosaic.
It's a different publisher than the first.
Liga?
Yeah, it's a different publisher than the first.
it's technically a Croatian publisher, but their domain name is a .hr.
Oh, that's weird.
So I don't know if they're technically a Hungarian publisher or not.
Yeah,
This is
because
what
HR
adds
is
an extra.
HR is Hungarian, isn't it?
Yeah, so this adds a little extra fun to it. But yeah, they have an announcement. What is it, Carly?
Book 2 of the Chamber of Secrets, which is a new translation, new publisher, and new cover art, is you can pre-order it now. It's open for pre-order, guys. And these are really, really great covers.
They are. And previous to these reissues from Croatia, they were only available with the audiobooks.
Right.
And they're awesome. It's until these physical books were released in Croatia, the only way to get the art was to have it digitally. So I know a lot of people were kind of sad about that. And even over in Peter's Discord, in his Potter Collector Discord, I've mentioned to a few people that you can get these, that art from the audiobooks in physical form, but you have to get the Croatian books.
Which is cool. Like, I love the Croatian Harry Potter books. They're pretty well made.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're great books. They're great quality. And the cover looks really cool. So if you haven't seen it, it's the car, right, which is featured on the front of a lot of Chamber of Secrets books, but it's kind of set in the middle of the full moon at nighttime, and Harry and Ron are in there, and it's stuck in the Whomping Willow with Hogwarts in the background. Yep. So
it's usually the Ford Anglia is like flying through the sky, right?
Yeah, or it's more
going toward the burrow after they've rescued Harry. This is actually like they've gone to school and they're about to get in a world of trouble by Snape.
Oh, yeah. And you're like, uh-oh, are they going to make it out of the tree?
Yeah.
Because they're stuck in there. It's not like, haha, we're flying and eating.
So I like, we've talked a little bit about, and different cover arts and stuff. And while this is, the Ford Anglia flying is a pretty common theme for a lot of covers, I really do like that the artist took a different moment from the book and put it on a cover. I don't think we have a Ford Anglia moment that's on a cover where it's stuck in the tree, do we?
Not that I'm aware of. It's also nighttime on the cover,
right.
So it's a nice kind of like shades of blue and dark blue.
Right.
What's
the cover
Harry Potter
for
font?
2 of the Slovak anniversary edition?
Oh, the new ones?
Yeah, because he may have done similar.
Right here. Let me grab it. Let me grab it.
I think Adrian Macho. I know that it's a Ford Anglia on the cover, but I can't remember.
It's also going at the tree.
Yeah. Okay.
But the color palette is very
it's very
autumnal.
Warm. Right.
Yeah. It's in daytime, so I mean it's not because the headlights are on, but it's very warm tone.
Right.
I mean Harry and Ron still look kind of perilous on the front.
Right.
But
yeah,
I don't know.
I love the tones
I don't
of
get
those
kind
books.
of scary vibes from this one. It still looks very inviting, whereas the Croatian one looks a little darker. So
that
cool
Adrian Macho seems to be more like really zoomed in on the moment, whereas the Croatian cover art is more zoomed out from what I've seen anyway.
Yeah, and the Harry Potter font is this nice, very pale. It almost looks like a pale purple, almost like a color you would see in a sunset.
Ooh, so it'll go really well with all the blues.
It will. So this is really great. You guys, it is, in euro, it's 19.50.
Yeah.
So it's the price of a new book. Shipping is what's going to get you on these books from Europe right now. So if you're interested in this book, there are ways to get it, without having to pay that much for shipping. Our favorite method in our Dialogue Alley Discord and collector group is we'll kind of find a few people that are interested in getting this book, and we will, place one order.
Do a group order.
And once it gets to the United States, we'll kind of disperse throughout because the U.S. still has that wonderful media mail where you can mail a book to someone for $3.50. Super cheap.
Yeah,
so,
$3.54 depending on weight, $5, but it's still much cheaper.
Yeah, but I would still say if you're looking for this book, you can get it for $45, including shipping, which is it's a lot, but
it's
still not
outrageous.
Bad.
like in the grand scheme of things, it's not bad. And we don't know how many of these are printed. So you don't want it to be a case where kind of like the German box set of the 20th anniversary where they printed all of them. And then now, they reprinted the box set, but only just now. So people at one point were paying a hefty amount for the box set because they couldn't find it.
True. And I also am wondering if once all 7 are released, they will release a box set of them.
Eric, we already know they're going to. We're going. I already feel it.
Yeah, that's true.
I already feel it.
Yeah.
But what I don't understand is why not put a box set out now? All 7 are done. There's no reason to make us wait.
I don't know. That's the weird thing. It's like they're coming out individually, even though all 7 books have already been released in Croatian
for a while
with a different translator for some of them. So it's not like they're you're waiting to find out what happens in the story,
right? No.
So I don't know what their reasoning is, but it's not like once book 7 comes out, books 1's not going to be available. So like you can wait and see, like, is there going to be a set? Are we going to have to wait and see? I don't know. Get it if you want it, wait if you don't.
Right.
Like, I don't foresee this going away once book 7 comes out. Like, they'll be available for a good chunk of time once they're all released.
Yeah.
Before they start getting harder to find unless they reprint. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's exciting news, Carly.
It is very exciting. I love these books. I was so excited to see one that Croatian, I would have, out of all the books or the languages that I thought would get a second translation, Croatian wasn't one that I thought would be there. So I like that the series is still that popular in Croatia enough for the expense to warrant the expense of a new publisher putting the money in a new translator to do it. And not only that, but also using newer cover art.
Exactly.
I'm super excited about it.
Oh, something else that's exciting. If you go to the publisher's website and there's like the about the novel Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. There's also the about the author, J.K. Rowling. And I like checking these when there are new books released because they sometimes update the like statistics that are in there.
Right.
And according to this publisher, it says the Harry Potter series has sold more than 600 million copies and has been translated into more than 85 languages.
Wow.
Which they're finally like saying that number.
They're finally getting close to right. I mean,
they're finally getting closer to the correct number. And this is a cool stat that they threw on this one. And listened to more than 1 billion hours as an audiobook.
I love that they included the audiobooks. I know Harrison would be
cool.
Just proud to hear that. And a lot of the people who enjoy the audiobooks would be, that's a number that's usually not even thrown around. So that's really cool.
Yeah, exactly. So I always check those when a new iteration of one of the Harry Potter books comes out, because they always
more than 1 billion hours
update the stats in some way. Yeah, 1 billion listening hours.
That's a lot of hours, you guys.
It is.
And I love, like what you were saying, I love that they're finally up in the 80s. I think Bloomsbury wasn't even recognizing that.
No, and I mean, who knows where they're getting their information from, if it's like actual information from the Blair Partnership, or
all I'm going to say,
if it's just if they're just making it up by looking at the Wikipedia article.
Well, if they would just go out and count a few languages, right? Like, there's so many websites and so many YouTubers, right? So many Instagrams dedicated now to the translations that finding information is a lot easier than it was back when we were doing it, just starting out. So, I mean,
yeah,
all they would have to do is go count a little bit. And
I know, and I'm sure, like Potterglot even mentioned, Potterglot's in the chat right now, and he just mentioned, blah, 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 they're not right.
Well, I love that they're like, well, we'll stop at 85 and then add a plus. But at least they're closer.
Well, and Johnny is also listening, and he mentioned, well, it depends how you count. And yes, it does depend how you count.
It really does. It's a slippery number. But I still...
Slippery number?
It is a slippery number to get around because it depends on how you count things.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, like we just said, so it's a little bit slippery. It's not like a hard finite 1 + 1 is 2.
I know. We've talked about that a few episodes ago with transliterations and with
adaptations and so on. Like there's just so many different, and then there's just so many different things to look at. Do you count languages? Do you count translations within a language? You know, that's also a problematic thing. Do you count, like, if there's a Western Armenian that's published, it's still Armenian, but you know, the Armenian we have is Eastern Armenian, so would you count Western and Eastern Armenian as Armenian? Probably not, because they're very different and differently cultured groupings. So you wouldn't want to do that either. So again, it's slippery.
It is slippery. Which, thankfully, Potterglatt's writing a chapter of this in his book that is going to be coming out at some point. We can't wait for it. None of us can wait for it. We all want it right now. But we can't give you the book right now. But what we can give you right now is a Carly and Eric tried to beat user-generated Harry Potter quiz trivia timed things.
I don't think that could have been any more elegantly said.
Nope, that was as good as it gets.
Nope, that was superb. Bravo and all that.
All right, so for the main segment this episode, Carly and I are going to be playing some online Harry Potter quizzes. These are quizzes that I just found, so you too could go out and find them. They're not hard to find. We also will admit that these questions might not be the most difficult questions, but we also know that they're not the easiest questions. So we're kind of going for a middle-of-the-road difficulty level. I'm actually going to trivia tomorrow with Tom, and my wife's going this time. So that trivia that we go to in Minneapolis is like redonkulously hard. So,
and for those who don't know who Tom may be, he's a delightful member of our Discord and a friend of Eric's.
Yes, and he was on an episode that I really enjoyed personally about the real life connection to plants and potion ingredients and wand materials that are like real plants that they use lore from.
Oh, I actually would love to have him on again.
I would too.
I would love to have him on again. And I was so thrilled to see that he was my Secret Santa person. I got him all sorts of plant things.
Oh, nice.
It was fun.
Nice. All right. Well, Carly.
Yes.
The first quiz that I have found, there are 22 questions. We have 4 minutes to complete them. Now, you're not looking at this, so we're going to waste a little time because I'm reading.
We're not going to finish the quiz probably because you're going to have to read them and then I'm going to have to go, what? And then you're going to have to explain it again. So.
Well, I'm not going to hit start, but I can see all the questions before I hit start. So I'm actually going to tell you the names of the categories so that you can get in the mindset. Fortunately, all of these questions are about Quidditch. We're kind of in a Quidditch mood.
We're in a Quidditch mood today after the last episode. The last episode.
So there are some that are multiple choice. However, I don't think you will need them, especially for the ones that have multiple choice. There are. Well, here are the 4 categories. Category 1 is choose the correct number in each Quidditch category. The second one is called tactics. Choose the 3 known strategies or maneuvers in this list. So they give us 6. We have to pick the 3 that are correct. So I'll read them all. Then we're going to come up with the 3 that are right. The next section is choose 5 statements that are true regarding Quidditch. So it's a true-false, but only 5 of them are true out of the 10. And the last one is racing broom models. Choose the 6 real models. So they give us 12 and 6 of them are correct.
Oh, I love that. I love stuff like that.
And we have 4 minutes.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I am.
Okay, the first one we're going to start with is choose the correct number in each Quidditch category. I will read the question. If you know it and I agree, I'm just going to click it.
Just
I'm
click
not going
it.
to even.
Just click it.
We're not going to debate. We don't have time to debate if I agree with you right away. If I disagree, I will say something.
Okay. You'll just go.
Ready. Here we go. Yeah, I'll shriek. Ah! No.
Like the banshee, the caterwauling charm.
Ah! There you go. All right, ready? We're going to start right now.
Okay.
How many seekers on each team?
1. 2?
Yes.
Yeah, 1.
How many beaters per team?
2.
How many chasers per team?
3. I'm just counting.
How many keepers per team?
2. 1.
No, 1.
It's
1 per team, Carly. Sorry. 1. How many hoops on each side of the pitch?
3.
3. How many points for a goal?
I don't know. I'm going to say
10.
7. Oh,
I'm going with 10. Yes,
I guessed football.
No, it's 10. How many points for the snitch?
150.
Yes.
Or in the movies, all of them.
Hogwarts.
How many teams?
It doesn't matter. How many teams are at Hogwarts?
4. 4.
4. There we go. All right, we got all those right. Here we go.
Woo!
Choose the 3 known strategies that are real on this list. And so we don't have to say right away unless you know for sure.
Okay.
Davidoff's defense. Sloth grip roll.
That's one.
That's one. I know that. Ramsgate formation.
That feels like made up.
Porskoff ploy. That's real. They do
real.
that in book 4 with the omnioculars. Ronsky feint. Oh, that's real. All right, we got them all. 2.5 minutes left. Choose the 5 statements that are true regarding Quidditch. 1. The Quidditch World Cup is held once every 4 years.
True.
I want to say true, but I don't know.
I think
Number 2.
so.
We'll skip it. The game ends when one team reaches or passes a total of 150 points.
No.
That's false. The quaffle is the largest ball used in Quidditch.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree. Oh, we're right. 4. Though typically the seeker's job, any player can catch the snitch.
Yeah.
I don't think so, but
want to say
how did they
yes,
play without Harry in book 1?
But I don't know.
Okay, we'll wait.
Yeah, we'll wait.
We're running out of time. The Quidditch playing area is rectangular in shape. That's false.
False.
The Quidditch playing area is known as a pitch. Yes. It is illegal to catch a snitch with any part of the body other than the hand.
False.
Harry catches it with his mouth. A Quidditch match uses 1 referee.
Yes.
Yes, Hassan Mustafa from Egypt.
Yeah.
Some fouls result in 1-on-1 penalty shot between chaser and keeper.
Sure.
Yes. Flesh memory is used to determine the first player to touch a bludger.
See, wouldn't that be no?
That's false. That's the snitch.
False.
Okay, so we have one more.
Snitch.
Quidditch World Cup is held once every 4 years.
Yes.
It's true. Okay, we got all. We have 1 minute. 1 minute to go.
Look at us go.
Racing broom models. The 6 real ones. Shout it out if you know it. Clean sweep.
Yes.
High flyer.
Sure.
No, I'm skipping that one. Comet.
Yeah, that's one.
Yeah. Lightning bolt.
Firebolt. Lightning bolt, no.
I don't think so. No. Nimbus.
Yes.
Obviously. Shooting star.
Yes.
Yeah, Ron has one. Skymaster.
No.
Silver arrow.
I think so, yes.
Madam Hooch talks about it. Wind Rider.
I don't think so.
Starduster.
Ooh.
Firebolt,
yes.
Obviously. Yeah, we did it.
Yeah, look at us go.
14 seconds to go. We got 22 out of 22.
Bravo, Eric. Bravo.
Oh, and it just told us, Carly, that was as amazing as watching an avocado ride a unicorn. That's our congratulatory message.
And now I've got a picture of an avocado riding a unicorn, and it's a bit strange. I mean, would the unicorn be stabbed on... Would the avocado be stabbed on the unicorn's horn to ride it? It would fall off if it was on the back of it.
Unless it had a special saddle, maybe. I don't know. A saddle made for a unicorn? Or for an avocado?
Right, so it would just be a cup taped down.
It would. Okay, we have 2 options here, Carly. Actually, we have 3. I can hit the next quiz option.
Ooh.
I can do the random quiz option, or I can go back and just pick one based on the name.
Would random be a random Harry Potter quiz? Because I don't want to be like playing a quiz for Die Hard. That would be against.
I don't know. I'm going to click it. I'm going to click it.
Do it.
I'm clicking it. Okay, we can't do this because you're not looking at it. But this quiz is called Harry Potter by Painted Eggs. Can you name the Harry Potter characters painted on these Easter eggs? And I'm going to show you the first one.
Oh, it's really good. It's Dumbledore.
It is Dumbledore. It's hilarious.
I'd ace that one. We should do it. I would win.
I know you. No, we can't do it though because it's not fair. Plus, people listening wouldn't get to enjoy the painted Easter eggs on that quiz. Oh, no. That's hilarious. All right, here's a good one. This is a 20-question quiz. Can you pick the events in the life of Harry Potter in the order in which they happened?
Ooh, that's a good one.
I don't know how I'm supposed to... How am I supposed to click this, though?
Can you not click the title of it?
No, I can... Oh, no, there we go.
Okay.
All right. 4 minutes.
Okay.
20 questions.
Let's do it. Is it hard?
Well, no, this is going to be hard. Well, it's going to be hard for you because you can't see it.
Oh, dang it.
Because I just have to, like, read all of them and then click them. So if there was no time limit, it would be easier. Because then I could read them all to you. We don't want that, though. Here's one. We can do this one. Harry Potter book by chapter title.
Okay.
It's 70 questions.
In 4 minutes?
In 10 minutes.
Okay.
We're not going to do all 70. We are going to do the first column. There are
what if
3.
We get
We're going to
all
do the
of
first
we
column.
could get all of them done. What if we do it? We could do it.
In 10 minutes?
You don't have faith in us?
Okay, yeah, I do. Okay, we can do it. I have to set this down. You won't be able to look at me because I'm going to need to use my fingers to type.
Okay.
All right. Here we go. Ready?
Set.
And if you don't know it, yell skip, and we'll skip it, and we will come back to it.
Okay. Let's do it.
Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Here we go. The Dark Lord Ascending.
Ooh. What do you think?
I'm skipping. The Heir of Slytherin, Chamber of Secrets.
Yeah.
Okay. Talents and Tea Leaves. That's book 3.
That's book 3.
An Excess of Phlegm. That's when Fleur is at the burrow.
Is it 5 or 4? I think it's 4.
That's book 5. Oh no! It's book 6. Book 6.
Yeah. Okay. We're doing this. We've got it.
Oh, you know what? I typed it wrong, so we got it wrong. Never mind.
Dang it!
Whoops.
You had what job?
Norbert the Norwegian Ridgeback.
Book 1.
Norbert the Norwegian Ridgeback. That's book 1. Dudley Demented. That's book 5. A Sluggish Memory.
Book 6?
Yes, book 6. Weasley's Wizard Wheezes.
Book.
That's 6 because they go in book 6.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Yep, correct. Silver Doe.
Book 7.
Oh, no, we got it wrong.
What?
Weasley's Wizard Wheezes is book 4, chapter 5, because that's when they tell him about it for the first time.
Oh.
Rats.
Dang it.
That's a tricky one. Silver Doe, that's book 7 for sure. OWLs.
6?
Book 5.
5. Okay.
5 is when they take them, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Keeper of the Keys.
Book 1.
Book 1. Priory Incantatum. Oh, that's book 7.
That's book 7.
No, it's book... no, it's book 4. I hit the wrong key.
Why is it not book 7?
I hate the time.
Well, we'll talk about that later.
It's book 4 when Voldemort comes back.
Oh, that's right.
Death... Yeah, I'm sorry. The timer is really distracting. It's making my heart race. The Death Day Party. It does me the same too. 2.
Actually, that's book 2.
Nicholas Flamel. That's book 1.
That's book 1. I don't do well with time things. I get really anxious.
Neither do I. It's too stressful. The Other Minister. That's the beginning of book
7.
No, 6, because Scrimjaw is the minister. It's 6.
Okay.
Bobatons and Durmstrang, that's book 4.
That's book 4.
The Boggart and the Wardrobe, that's book 3.
That's book 3.
Snape's Worst Memory, that's book. When is Occlumency happening?
6.
6?
Or 5.
Is it book 6? No, that's 5. It's 5. The Phoenix Lament. Oh my gosh, I don't remember that one at all.
The Phoenix's Lament is sad.
I'm skipping it. I'm skipping it.
I'm getting nervous.
Dementor's Kiss. Me too. Dementor's Kiss.
Book 3. Oh, I don't know.
I think so. It's book 3. Halloween, book 1.
Yeah.
Polyjuice Potion, book 2.
Book 2.
The Lost Diadem, book 7.
Book 7.
Detention with Dolores,
book 5.
So these are easy ones. The Night Bus, book 3. These are easy ones. The Yule Ball, book 4.
Book 4.
Mudbloods and Murmurs, I think that's book 2.
Yeah.
Yes?
I think so.
Book 2. The Lost Prophecy. Oh.
Book 5?
Probably I think 6.
No, because when did they first hear the Lost Prophecy, though? Would it be book 3? Is that when Trelawney first gets weird about it?
You're right. Okay, you're right. Book 5. Yes, book 5. You got it. The House of Gaunt. That's book 6.
Yeah.
Snape Victorious. I am skipping.
Okay.
The Man with Two Faces, book 1. I feel like the first 3 books are easy. Hermione's Secret, book 3.
Well, I've read it. I've read
Portkey, book 4. The Whomping Willow, book 2. And Croatian Book Cover, Beyond the Veil, book 5.
Yeah.
The Tale of Three Brothers, book 7. Quidditch World Cup,
book 4.
4. Letters from No One,
book 1.
Yes. Grim Defeat.
3.
3. It's got to be 3,
It's got to be 3. The Grim.
Yes. The Writing on the Wall. It's
book 2.
Slug Club.
Book 6.
Has to be. Educational Decree number 24.
Book
Has to be 5, right?
Yeah, I would think so.
The Rogue Bludger.
Book 1, 2.
No, it's 2. It's
when Harry gets the weird arm.
All wiggly jiggly.
And then Lockhart makes it boneless.
That's what I said. Wait, the wiggly jiggly arm. Through the Trapdoor. Oh, that's easy. Book 1. Cat, Rat, and Dog.
That's 3.
Yes. The Dark Mark.
4.
4, yeah. They're in the woods. The Life and Lies of Albus Dumbledore.
7.
7. The Hungarian Horntail.
4.
Yes. Aunt Marge's Big Mistake.
3. She gets blowed up.
Oh, you caught me at a bedtime. The Very Secret Diary.
2.
2. The Unforgivable Curses. 4. Moody.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
King's Cross. That's
7.
Yep. The Vanishing Glass. 1.
Is it?
Second chapter of the book. Yeah. Sectum Sempra.
6.
Yes. The Sacking of Severus Snape. It's book 7. St. Mungo's Hospital.
5.
Is it 5?
Yes, that's when they go to St. Mungo's.
Yes, you're right. Yes, yeah. Duh.
Ooh.
3.5 minutes. The Firebolt. Oh, it's book 3. Felix Felicis.
6.
6. The Dueling Club.
2.
Yes. The Battle of Hogwarts. Oh, book 7.
7.
Number 12, Grimmauld Place.
5.
It's got to be book 5. Yeah. The Mirror of Erised.
1.
Book 1. The Four Champions.
4.
4. Magic is Might.
Any of them.
I feel that's the new ministry motto, so I feel like that's got to be book 7 when they get the Horcrux.
Okay, put that. I will go with that.
Yes, that's correct. The Marauder's Map.
3.
Yes. Dobby's Warning. That's easy. Book 2. The Lightning Struck Tower. That's when Dumbledore...
Isn't that 6?
Sorry,
that's
spoiler.
book 6.
Spoiler alert, that's when Dumbledore dies. That's got to be book 6. Yes. Dumbledore's Army.
5.
5. The Prince's Tale.
6?
No, that's got to be 7.
Is it? It is.
When they get the memory goop from him when he dies, and then they bring it up to the pensive, or Harry does.
Oh, is that 7?
Is it? Is that what that's called? What is that the chapter when they go through the with Lily?
Oh, I don't know. Just put 1.
I'm putting 7. It is 7.
Good job. Good job.
The Boy Who Lived.
Book 1.
Boy Who Lived.
Book 1. Book 1.
All right. Well, we did it. We finished all 70.
Oh, I knew we could.
Didn't. We didn't. No, the Dark Lord Ascending. That's our last one.
The Dark Lord Rising, book 7. I don't know.
No.
I don't. Book 4. Book 4.
I feel like that's the first chapter of.
I'm panicking.
We have a minute to come up with one answer because we've gotten
so
our 3 wrong that we should have waited.
We can talk.
Yeah,
through
we should have talked through the ones that we were other. Yeah.
The Dark.
I feel like this is book 7, chapter 1.
I think it's 7 would make sense.
When Snape goes to the Malfoy Manor.
Right, that would make the most sense. I think chronologically.
It is, and then the last one, the Phoenix Lament.
When is Fawkes sad? Wouldn't that be the end of 6?
Yes.
That's when Fawkes goes away, isn't it?
We are correct.
Woo!
Snape victorious. Oh, sorry, we had a couple left. 20 seconds. Snape victorious.
5, 6, 6, 6. Final answer.
I feel like it's 6. It is 6. All right. We got 96%. That's pretty good.
That's look at us go. It's like we know the material or something.
Especially because I know if we had talked through Excess of Phlegm, we would have gotten that right.
Yeah, we would have.
Priory Incantatum, we would have gotten that right too if we talked through it. The only one that I would not have been confident in was the Weasley's Wizard Wheezes chapter.
No, because they were hardly discussed in that book. I would have guessed, really, I think 5, 6, or 7. And 5, really, because that's when they ditched school entirely.
But you know what? Now that I know the name of the chapter, it's the chapter where the art is a picture of the 2 brothers in the backyard at the burrow, and they're dueling with the tables.
Oh.
And just to show that my brain is amazing, to everyone listening, I'm gonna look it up right now. I'm looking at the book.
Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da.
Here it is, Carly.
Oh, look at you go! And you love the chapter art on those.
Shazam! I love the chapter art. I think we did all right. I think that was pretty good. Actually, I think that was really good. I honestly, we got 67 out of 70 correct. With a timer.
That's really good, because I was panicking with the timer.
The timer that's what made it stressful.
Yeah. But I think it's supposed to.
Crazy.
We're supposed to, feel...
It is supposed to. You're supposed to feel the pressure. But, actually, I think that's it. I think we can stop there. I think 2 is good. I think those were good. Those are fun.
We did a lot for that. There was a few that tripped me up. I would have enjoyed more of the brooms.
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, that was really fun, Carly. And I think we could keep the fun going, and we could talk about our translation of the show.
I love it. So our translation of the show is one of the back to the idea of Quidditch. It is the very first. This is the U.S. publication or no, UK?
U.S.
Okay, it's the Scholastic publication of Quidditch Through the Ages, the original one from, I think this was 2001.
2001. We mentioned it briefly in our last episode where we also talked about Quidditch Through the Ages.
But the illustrated edition.
When I pulled this out talking about the illustrated one, I just really wanted to talk about this book.
Yeah.
Like, really badly. So we're going to chat about it.
And this book is so cute, and it doesn't get a whole lot of press, despite it being so precious. And there also are Bloomsbury editions of this book that are even smaller. If you can believe that.
No way. I don't have those.
I do. Because of course I do.
Oh my goodness. Of course you do. I need to seek these out now.
Yvonne could help you do that. I think she found these for like £1 each at one of those like car boots.
Oh yeah, because they're not expensive books. They weren't expensive to begin with.
No.
Mine is for $3.99 US. Carly, tell us a little bit about the history of this. And it came out with Fantastic Beasts, right, at the same time?
Yes, it did. It was like a school book set I just love them. It came out this was published, I think, by Scholastic and Bloomsbury, I think right around the same time, if not the same time. The proceeds for the books go to Comic Relief, which was a charity that does different things. I don't think Jo is still associated with them anymore. She may be. I honestly don't know either way. But it's a charity that does different things that is actually pretty cool, although I don't remember what all they are. Right now, it's soft cover. There are hardcover U.S. books that came out as well. The soft covers, I want to say, predate the hardcovers, though.
Yes, they do.
By I think of
at least in the U.S., I know that for sure.
I don't know of any hardcover Bloomsbury that came out at the same time as a soft cover either of this edition. I could be wrong because I don't pay enough attention to these books. They're all really fun, and they're auxiliary books. And what's cool about these is that they really do look like school books. They have like writing in them. There's a game of tic-tac-toe. They've got library stamps. Like, they look fun. They're really creative and very well done. There's writing from students throughout. Like, you could tell that putting this together was a fun thing. The content is fun and very light. I also love how this book is super, super thin. I don't know how many pages. Do you want to check how many pages, Eric?
Yeah, I can. And I'll also mention that this came out in 2001. It's 56 pages, by the way.
Yeah, so really thin.
It came out in 2001. So I was what? I dropped my phone. It's just a catastrophe over here. 2001. I was born in '89, so I was like 12 when this came out.
This book is over 20 years old.
This is before the time that I could venture out and just buy my own stuff. So I remember getting both this book and Fantastic Beasts as a gift, which was really cool. I was kind of at the mercy of what people would get for me when I was 11 or 12. So it was really cool, right, to have something else Harry Potter related that wasn't a Harry Potter book. This was the first book I had that was an official Harry Potter book, but not part of the main series.
Right.
So I think everyone is excited when these came out, which is why I think it was such a good idea to publish them.
It was, and
especially when proceeds go to charity.
People wanted auxiliary books too, like the Fantastic Beasts sounded like, and it sounded like a really fun, like some of the Harry Potter school books just sound really fun anyway, right? Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, Quidditch Through the Ages, Tales of Beetle the Bard. I was super thrilled when Tales of Beetle the Bard came out, even though he's really only featured prominently, or they're really only featured prominently in book 7. It's a very intricate part of book 7, very important. So I'm thrilled to actually have them. I wish they did more, like auxiliary books.
I really do.
I would love.
Especially because I know a lot of.
Go on.
I was going to say there is definitely a demand for them because there have been fans that have made their own books. When I talked with David when we did the Collector Spotlight issue, and he mentioned bringing his Potions book to the live orchestra movie viewing that we went to, and people were commenting on it, like that's one of his prized book possessions. There's a need and a want for those types of books to have a potions book or Hogwarts of History.
Hogwarts of History. The Life and Lives of Albus Dumbledore. I've seen several creators make their own versions of that.
Any of the Gilderoy Lockhart books would be hilarious.
Yeah, I've seen plenty of creators try to make their own versions of those as well. The Gilderoy books would be hysterical, I think, because now that we know who he is, they'd be funny. But
History of Magic, Bathilda Bagshot.
Yeah.
Like, these are books that have been made by fans. So, yeah.
And what's frustrating
if there was an official publication
is that Bloomsbury is sending cease and desist letters to the creators that they find out about it. So there's a demand, but they're not doing anything to fill the demand. So then more and more creators are going to be filling the gap until something else is done, right? And it feels like that he can either do that and fill the gap and publish them. And I know that there's a cost. You have to write the material. You have to bind the book. You have to find somebody who wants to write the material if Joe doesn't. And then it has to be Joe approved. Okay, fine. But some of these creators have already done that, and they've done a really good job. So why not work alongside them and use what they've already created? It already exists in the marketplace. People are already buying it. People already know these creators. Just use what they've done and make it bigger. They have the power to do that. I would love to see that. I would buy all of them. I would love to have a giant coffee table book of Hogwarts of History, like a my-sized.
Yes.
Like years ago when I was at Texas Tech, they have the special Southwest collections or special collections, and they had copies of the Diderot encyclopedias that were like hand painted and stuff. And these books, I'm 4'10", and a half, somewhere in there. I'm short. But these books were almost as tall as me. Like, I'm not kidding. They were probably a good, like, up to my chest. Like, they were super tall, and there was something like 20 of them. Could you imagine shelving those? We would complain about the Braille books. This, like, is 20 of those, and they were about this thick. They were so wonderful. Like, my eyes got super big. I felt like I understand how Hermione felt. I would love to have something like that bigger than my coffee table. Like, it would hang off my coffee table. And it's just for a bit of, like, reading.
Aha, Hermione. I don't think the Billy shelves at IKEA would accommodate those.
Not even. You'd put the book on the shelf.
Not even the...
I mean, you'd put the book on the shelf and you'd still have, like, another 2 feet sticking out of it, and the shelf would topple.
Right? I know. Yeah, it'd be crazy.
I would love it. I would love it.
That was quite a tangent. Let's talk about this book. Let's go through the rating scale because, like Carly mentioned, it's teeny. It is a teeny tiny book, and it is a paperback book, which means two things that I'm thinking of before we get going on this. It's paperback and it's tiny, and it came out in 2001. So this book was like given to kids that bring it in their backpack or put it, on their shelf at home. Mm-hmm. It's so thin that inevitably,
or even back pockets of pants,
are, right? Because it's so thin, you can carry it anywhere. I think it's really difficult to find. I mean, maybe it's not, but I can't imagine. I'll rephrase this. I would guess that a lot of these books have creases in them, have spine cracking, even though there's not much of a spine.
There's not much of a spine to crack.
These books are meant to be
read
and
enjoyed. But it would definitely crease on the front cover tremendously.
Yeah. Because even my book, and I take great care of my books, I mean, the corners are bending in.
And they
pages are
the
getting
green
yellow.
wears off and the red wears off really quickly.
Right.
Yeah.
And it doesn't help that this book is made to look weathered anyway,
right,
even though it's not. Like, there are fake weathering lines on it. So that doesn't help its overall quality look. But because it's so teeny and so thin, it's really hard to keep these books in great condition unless you get a new one and put it right on the shelf and don't read it.
Right. But the new ones now, like if you were to go and buy it on the shelf, I don't know that this edition is still available I don't know if it's still in print. You can still buy Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them and Quidditch Through the Ages, but they are the updated versions from I think 2017. And those have entirely different covers.
They did go through and do a little updates.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, the covers are different, and even they updated some of the content in there as well. But
yes, they did.
We're not here to talk about
really fast before we get into the tot scale. Though,
go ahead.
I do want to add that much like the main Harry Potter books, these have also, I say these Fantastic Beasts, Quidditch Through the Ages, and I'm talking too fast. I'm sorry, and I'm just excited. And Tales of Beedle the Bard have been translated.
There's no timer.
I know,
on this segment.
but I got all frantic because of the quiz, and I'm talking like da 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 da. Plus, I love the content, so it's hard not to talk fast when I'm excited. But the Tales of Beedle the Bard, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, and Quidditch Through the Ages, I said it like not legibly, but slowly, have been translated, right? There are translations of these as well, not in all the same, not in as many, or sometimes not even all the same languages, although I think all of the same for here, although there's one language that I know that has a cursed child that doesn't have the other 7 books, which is a bit weird, but there are translations of these books in other languages. I don't collect them, quote unquote, but I have some of the translations of Beedle, and because the covers are so fun, you guys. But Quidditch 2...
Yeah, the Beedle covers are different.
Right, the Beedle covers are different, and Quidditch 2 is really fun. So anyway, this is fun. This is translated as well. That's all.
This is one of those books that I'll pick up if it's somewhere. Like I have a French version. I bought one in Mexico the last time I was there, just because it was at the store. They're cheap, and they're fun to pick up.
They are.
They're still thin. They're not expensive.
No.
So it's a cool book to look out for if you're traveling and you have a translation from a country.
Yeah.
Any of the auxiliary books are fun to pick up. So,
yep. So that was. I just wanted to make sure people knew those were translated also.
Yeah. Sounds good. Let's smell this thing.
I remember mine just smelling acceptably okay. Like nothing to write home about.
Well, mine smells a lot like my first Sorcerer's Stone Scholastic paperback book, which
would make
is very
sense.
nostalgic,
Yeah.
but objectively, even though this is a very subjective scale, I'm still giving it an acceptable plus, maybe.
I remember mine just smelling acceptable. It didn't smell bad, but it didn't really smell good.
No, it's not bad.
It was just acceptable.
So the fact that this book was from 2001 and it still smells acceptable plus for me, I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
Size and proportions. This is hard because it's so thin that I don't know how I can give it a bad score because it can't get thicker, right? There's not enough content in there, but I also don't think it's going to be a good score. I'm going to give it an acceptable also, just because it's so light that it really, I don't know. I don't know how to make it better.
So this for me,
make it thicker. So I don't know. I'm still giving it an acceptable, and I can't really explain why. Obviously, based on my mumbo jumbo.
That was mumbo jumbo. By the by,
it was.
I'm giving this and exceeds my expectations. It's not outstanding because it is so thinly spined that I would lose it in a bag, and then it would get damaged, and then I'd be upset about it. And I just don't want to be upset about a book. So it's going to have to be exceeds expectations, but it exceeds expectations plus.
That's true. Oh, well, that's fine. I can't fault you for that, right?
No.
It's a good book. How it feels in my hands, though.
I don't like it.
The cover is very glossy, really glossy, and it's really light. Obviously, it's super thin. It's not a lot of pages. It's a comfortable read because it's so light, but it doesn't feel great to hold. So I can't give it a poor because it's not poor. It's a thin book. I'm still going to give it an acceptable. So I'm sticking with A. I'm at AAA right now.
I'm going to say that it is poor for me. I don't like how thin it is. I know I just went on and on about how outstanding it is for size and proportions because it's so little and cute. But it's almost like when Aunt Petunia calls Dudley Duddledums.
Ickle Duddykins.
Yeah, Duddledkins and all of those little
Duddykins.
nicknames that she calls them. It's like so precious that it's too much, and I don't like it. So I wouldn't like to read this book. It would not be fun to read. If I were to flip it open, it wouldn't stay open. I don't like how it feels in my hand, but I love the size and proportions, which I know is kind of an oxymoron comparison, but it is what I have.
The only reason that I would give it a poor, and I'm not going to, is because it is a softcover book. And I think that's very strange that they released these two as paperback books. I remember feeling a little underwhelmed when I got these as a gift in 2001, because they don't feel like that amazing, right? Like for a book going to charity, I think the price on here is $3.99 US.
Right.
They could have charged
much more.
$10.
And they would have still
and made it a hardcover. And they would have still sold, exactly.
And
so
they did eventually make a hardcover.
I do like that it's cheap and accessible.
They have the box set that comes in the backpack looking box called the box set.
Oh yeah, and they even have like the 3 set with Beetle the Bard added to it now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wish they would have made it a little bit nicer. However, I cannot fault that it was $3.99.
No.
That's super
especially
cheap
to
and
kick it
accessible.
off, and they didn't know demand at the time.
Exactly.
And
cover art interpretation.
I love.
Go ahead.
We'll finish the scale, and then I'll add some new information.
Okay. Cover art. I really like it. I'm gonna give it an exceeds expectations. It's hard to make it look like an actual textbook when it's this thin. That's my only gripe, I guess. However, it's a really beautiful green color. It looks like a textbook. It's got the property of Hogwarts Library.
I love that.
Faux wax seal stamp on it. The fake weathering of the book looks really nice. So, I mean, I'm going to give it an exceeds expectations. They really did as best they could with
what little they had.
Size.
Like, if they would have had more content, it would have, I think, been better. For cover art interpretation, I'm going to give this one a solid exceeds expectations plus. I loved flipping the page or opening the book and seeing the tic-tac-toe and Ron Weasley and just kids who had scribbled their names throughout, because that's what I did. We weren't supposed to. I didn't write my name, but my textbooks are all written over and written through. And
for sure.
In fact, I didn't even, when I was in college or grad school, I didn't have a notebook. I kept all of my notes in the books, in the margins. My books are completely written through. All of them.
Well, just like this one.
Yeah.
I don't know if we mentioned quality of the book.
It's acceptable.
I think we talked about it. I didn't give it a score. I'm giving it acceptable also. It's a paperback. It's still intact.
Yeah.
The pages are getting really worn in mine. It's fine.
Yeah.
Really, I don't know. For a paperback, I don't know how it could get much better. So I'm always fine giving a paperback an acceptable if it's still held together.
Yeah.
The X factor of this book for me, and we talked a little bit about this before we started recording, is that the price on the back on the by the UPC and the ISBN says $3.99 US, and then in parentheses 14 sickles, 3 knuts.
I love it.
That's awesome. They didn't have to do that.
No, my X factor.
But they did. That's super
Would that be
cool.
correct? I wonder if that would be the correct. I wonder if there's a sickle and knut and all of that conversion.
Exchange rate?
Yeah, I wonder if it's correct to dollars at the time, because that would be even neater instead of just picking numbers out of the air. My X factor goes back to again the internal art with the kids scribbles through it. I think that's clever.
Well, in this one there's not as much of the kids scribbles, but there are illustrations.
But I love it.
The kids scribbles, where Ron and Harry are talking back and forth, that's more of the Fantastic Beasts ones, but there are
there's kid scribbles
illustrations in this one. Yeah, or they I mean, I think they would qualify as a textbook illustration, but they look like scribbling.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's cool. And they definitely did try to make their news article snippets from the Daily Prophet and such in here. And they do change the font and they change the typeset. So
they made a really solid effort.
Very much. Yeah, I agree with that. So I give you a high five for your X Factor for that.
I'll give you a high five for yours too.
Well, thanks.
Yeah.
And I'll give you another high five because we did it. We did a whole episode.
Yay! My phone has 5%, so that's
Melanie,
even better.
As she had to leave.
Yeah. So my phone, I'm going to preface this and say if I suddenly disappear, it's because my phone died, but, it'll be fine.
Oh, well, that's fine because we're about to wrap it up anyway. So, with all of that being said, that's all the time we have today. Thank you so much for listening, everybody. I especially would like to give a shout out right now to all of the patrons that were listening in to this episode live. We had a lot of them.
Yeah, it was awesome. I loved waving at everyone.
Annabelle's new, and she joined like 2 days ago, and she's already in the live listen-in. So I think that's a record. And as always, David and Johnny and Potterclot are in here too.
Yep.
They're always there. They're always hanging around. But we like when they do because they're wonderful people. If you'd like to get in touch with us, you can do so in a lot of different ways. This podcast is on Instagram at Dialoguealleypodcast. Carly is on Instagram at All the Pretty Books. I am on Instagram at Nocturne Eric. Melanie is on Instagram at The Harry Potter Collection. There are some great websites to check out by us. And by us, I mean Carly and Melanie.
And Dialogue Alley.
Those two sites are... Oh, yeah, that's true. I guess I'd be in there, too. Carly has a website at alltheprettybooks.net. Melanie's website can be found at theharrypottercollection.com. And then, of course, dialoguealley.com is where you can find everything about this show specifically. We are on Twitter, dialogue_alley. Melanie has a TikTok, which has been changed. Carly, we know this now.
Yes.
Magically, Melanie is now her TikTok account. You can find our podcast anywhere you stream things. If you're listening to us, you know that right now. Thanks for listening wherever you're listening. You can also find us on MuggleNet. We are a MuggleNet family podcast. We are super jazzed to be a part of their wonderful website. You can go to MuggleNet and find more Harry Potter related things, whether that be podcasts, articles, news, stories. They have it all. They've been around for a super long time, and I imagine they will continue to be around for a super long time. See, did I forget anything?
I think you did.
Well, I did mention Patreon.
Oh, we have to mention that.
No, I did. Well, I already did mention it. But if you would like to be a part of our Patreon, you can support us by going to patreon.com/dialoguealley. Depending on the tier that you subscribe to, you can get access to things like ad-free episodes, bonus episodes, and also, I didn't mention this last episode, but I always want to plug how awesome the community is with the resources section on our Discord. If you are looking at getting into collecting translations or collecting books, we have information for you on our Discord in the resources section. So we have a great community that compiles all this information and puts it all in one location to make sure that if you are looking to buy a book, you are getting it for the best available price that any of us know of, which is super helpful. So high fives to everyone.
Yes, good job, everyone.
Yes. And also, Carly, good job to you. Thanks for doing these Harry Potter quizzes with me.
Yeah,
today.
It was fun.
That was super
Anxiety
fun.
included, it was fun.
Exactly.
There were some tense moments.
Timer just ticking down.
Yeah.
There are some
I would have been
moments.
worse if I would have seen the timer.
I know. That's why I was getting all stressed out. But fortunately for me, I'll be out of the country laying on a beach somewhere next week and not be here, and I will be de-stressing. So you and Melanie can
do quizzes too.
keep the stress level high and do whatever you're planning on doing next week. So with all that being said, it is time to walk back to the archway and into all of our daily lives. Thank you so much, everybody, and we'll catch you next time on Dialogue Alley.
Bye.
See ya.